I want to go back to a previous question, and I'm going to word it slightly differently, which is for women today, not necessarily the feminine, as in our culture and our time, what is the main problem, the main challenge that they're facing, and what is the solution?
I believe for myself, my main problem in being a westernized woman was in judging certain parts of myself as not so good, as unacceptable or not appropriate to express, which created this tightness in my body because I was holding so much. And what that does is it makes me feel like I'm unworthy, or I'm not allowed to, or there's something wrong with me. And in doing this work, you open up to the fact that everything you feel is wonderful and is beautiful. You have to put it in the right place and in the right context. And you have to have permission to kind of move it through. So for me, that's the most important thing, is like to have permission to express what is authentically me on the inside in a way that doesn't harm somebody else, or I feel judged or ridiculed.
And I think for me, what I found and what was really important to me in this work was cultivating relationship with other women in a way that we don't do in today's society. To really drop into emotion and vulnerability and being accessible and being open to other women, because again, in the world, we approach other women so much in our masculine, they approach us in a masculine, or the feminine becomes so distorted that we attack one another or backstab one another. And so it's this place of backing away from that, coming back to the essence of what feminine connection is, and being able to drop into a place where you are, where you do feel emotion, where you are vulnerable, where you are raw with other women. And there's that safety in place because there's that commonality, there's that understanding of why we're all here. What's the point of it anyway? So to me, that's such a critical piece of why this work is important, is to get back to that essence of women and why women need other women, because we just don't do that anymore.
And that was my next question. Why is it helpful for women to work with women? Is there anything you could add to that? Or?
Well, I think deep in our core, women are tribal by nature. And I think that in ancient cultures and for millions of years, the men would go off hunting and the women had to protect and defend the children from wild animals and everything. And you had to have a team or a core group of women that you could trust and you could depend on. And I think, like Jennie was saying, in our modern culture, we've become so individualized that we think the power is in the individual self, that we have let go of kind of this concept of how valuable it is to have a group of women to give feedback to you that are older than you, wiser than you, have their own experiences, that they can share their experiences with you. And I believe that in every woman is great wisdom. And that's what I love about this workshop, is that every woman is called upon to step into her wisdom and to give her wisdom to the other women. And so it's not just Jennie and I running the workshop. It's literally that all the women's voices have value, and that they show it, they embody it, they share it, they give each other exercises based on what the other woman is working on, and it empowers the women and they feel that they belong again. I think that so often women just feel like we're on our own and we don't have any support, and the whole idea is you do have support, and we are trying to create a space where women can support women.
And to me too, we've become, what I've noticed in myself before doing this work and in a lot of women is we've almost become mute in the feminine language of how women interact with women. It's a skill that we've lost because we don't know how to interact. And so it's recreating that feminine language of just being with another woman, looking at another woman, not filling the space with chatter, of breathing with another woman, of eating with another woman, of taking a moment and having another woman just press her hands onto your body. I mean, these are things we don't do. It's the language of the feminine, and we've literally lost it. And I think that's huge. That's a huge part of these workshops, and that's why they're so critical. And another piece of it to me is to be witnessed going through a process, in my mind, to be witnessed embodying something that you're pushing into can be far more impactful than just talking about it or trying to sort it out or figure it out. There's a piece that to be witnessed in that is the most powerful way to align and heal what you're trying to go through, to be able to connect with that essential energy, because you have that support of someone actually seeing you do it, loving you wholeheartedly, keeping their heart open to you. And that's critical, and that's what women offer to one another.